My Hero Academia is a show that I like, despite the overwhelming hate for the show that it simply doesn't deserve. Now, I know all you guys want to call peak mid, but if I could just give you guys a lobotomy for a second, and you guys could just calm down, that would be great. So in this video, I'll be ranking every My Hero Academia arc, but there's a twist. I won't be doing this alone. I reached out to the awesome Snowman to help me rank these arcs. I found this frosty friend of mine through his 1 hour and 39-minute long video essay about Deku, which I would highly recommend watching.
I'm thinking about doing a Delta and Voice headcanon video. Should I do it?
Number 1, yes, make that video. 2, I want to collab with you on a video, but I don't know how to reach you, so I'm posting this comment. You got Discord or something so we can chat?
I have my Instagram and my channel trailer if you really want to contact me. I might be interested.
Huh, bet. Remedial Course Arc. This is the worst arc in the show. It's only 3 episodes and it follows Bakugo, Todoroki, and these nobodies. Yes, that includes wasted potential of the character and brain rot the person, trying to calm down this class of problem children. And yeah, it's just not very entertaining. Luckily, it only lasts 3 episodes. During one of them, All Might and Endeavor have a cool conversation about how Endeavor is mad about All Might's success being #1 hero, while Endeavor was always number 2, and how he didn't want to be 2nd place. Even during All Might at his peak, Endeavor still pushed himself to try to be better than All Might. That's pretty cool. Too bad it's in this lackluster arc. During this arc, they also bring up the quirk singularity theory, which I'm pretty sure is the first time that this was mentioned in the show, so that's pretty cool. Sadly, though, this arc is just a big pile of nothing. Welcome to D's Burgers. I'll be taking your order. Yeah, I'll take, a nothing burger, please? Sure thing, sir. Your total is watching episode 78 to 80 of My Hero Academia.
Thanks for having me, Robo. Next up at place 22 is the Quirk Apprehension Test. Now, 2 things real quick. I will say I haven't actually done a rewatch of the show in about over a year, so it's not like the show is still fresh in my mind. And secondly, I'm not sure if Robo said this, but I believe that none of the arcs in this story are necessarily bad. Even the lower ones on this list have great redeeming qualities, though some shine a lot brighter than others. The Quirk Apprehension Test is a great example of this, that some arcs are smaller than others, especially this one, since it's in like 1 episode of the anime. You can't exactly compare something like the Quirk Apprehension Test to something like the Final War arc. But at the same time, even low on this list, this arc is still pretty good. This is basically our introduction to the class and their powers, along with Aizawa and his strictness. It's a small story with sort of small stakes. There's a test on the first day of school, even though they're supposed to be at ceremonies right now, where the students use their abilities to do certain tasks. However, the student that comes in last place will be expelled. An unfair situation that Aizawa puts his students in. It's also a great stepping off point to see the progress each student makes in later arcs. Deku can't use his quirk properly, so he doesn't use it at all, acting as the poor underdog that we root for, even though we know he has very little chance of not making it. However, like I said in my Deku video, which you should totally check out, Deku's character is all about using his wit and determination to overcome an impossible situation like this, wowing everyone around him because of the expectations built around him. He thinks of a way to stand out among the students on the fly. Overall, a good arc, but very short and low stakes, a charming beginning to Class 1A.
The Provisional Hero License Exam arc is the last arc of Season 3, and it's sorta underwhelming. Like, the actual license exam part, which is most of it, is just average. My Hero training arc with funny gang Orca there to beat up a bunch of 16-year-olds as we all see the other schools, which is alright. It's cool world building. But the real star of this arc is Deku vs. Bakugo 2. I remember watching this for the first time and thinking, wow, this is peak. And I can even now still look back on it and be like, wow, this is really good. Animation is stellar, voice acting is marvelous, and the character motivations, especially for Bakugo, are really good. Bakugo just simply can't fathom how he's behind Deku in progress into being a hero, while Bakugo is now behind him in the story, due to him not passing the license exam, and all this bottled up anger just gets released starting this fight. And yeah, it's just a really great fight. Too bad we have to watch through training arc slop to get here, sadly.
At place 20 is the Battle Trial arc. Similarly to what I said with the Quirk Apprehension Test, This arc shows the extent of what the students' quirks can do, really getting the audience familiarized with the characters and what powers they have. Of course, Deku and Bakugo get the spotlight, marking the stepping off point for their dynamic and relationship, with years of Deku getting abused by his bully. This is the moment where he fights back, along with their respective teammates Uraraka and Ida also getting moments to shine. Again, a nice and charming, but short and low stakes arc.
The UA Traitor arc is this short little 4-episode arc that reveals the traitor from UA. On my first watch, I thought it was going to be revealed to be one of the teachers. Turns out it was this laser belly button guy. This arc hinges on the fact of you liking Aoyama. Personally, I don't really like him. So yeah, it's cool seeing Hagakure for the first time and also seeing Deku just be absolute G to Aoyama, but it's about where my care for this arc ends.
At place 18, we have the no spoilers epilogue arc. Now, I've been told this video is manga spoiler free, so I'll only just be vague. This arc has its issues, but the way it sends off the series with conclusions to beloved arcs is great. The biggest critique I have is that it's a little compact and short. It really needed time to breathe with some things and really hammer home some stuff. Other than that, it was great. And at place 17, we have the final exams arc. This arc is amongst the other arcs of smaller stakes school arcs, a more character-driven arc that shows the progress the students have made in their first year. They gain confidence, and their weaknesses and things they have to improve on are shown. What a great way to show this in the story. More progress has been made to the damaged relationship between Bakugo and Deku. They're pitted against the impossible task of defeating All Might. With their lack of communication, it seems like all hope is lost. Bakugo's hot-headed childish arrogance clashes with Deku's low self-esteem, but they're able to overcome it. Actually devise a plan to pass the exam. A lot of emotion, a lot of development between everyone, even All Might. Though it is a school event-centered arc, so it's less grand and lower stakes. Not a favorite when it comes up, but still good.
The Endeavor Agency arc. I actually like this one. You wanna know why? Because I actually like Endeavor, and I found his character redemption well written and good. Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki hang out with Endeavor to do sidekick hero work. Todoroki is having the worst time ever because, you know, he hates his dad for obvious reasons, but I mean, Bakugo and Deku are chilling until they visit the Todoroki family household. And here we get a bunch of exposition dump about Endeavor, mainly about him being a shitty father, and a bunch of other stuff happens. We also see more of Fuyumi and Natsuo. I would like to ramble about Fuyumi real quick. I really like her character, being the one in the family who acts like everything is okay, and to just work everything out. She even makes dinner for all of them when Endeavor brings the 3 boys over for dinner. She's just really wholesome. Natsuo, on the other hand, is not wholesome and gets kidnapped by this White Line Road guy. Endeavor then has to fight him. But instead of actually fighting him, he freezes up, and then the boys have to do all the saving, which is very Disney movie-esque, which I don't mind. It's just very wholesome Chungus. Reddit Gold, 100. This arc is also placed in the story kind of poorly. I mean, I don't know where else you could put it. The arc before this arc is setup, and then you get hit by another setup arc right after, so it just feels like more setup. Luckily, this arc is only like 3 episodes, so it's not super bothersome, just something I noticed. The Joint Training arc. The Joint Training arc. The Joint Training arc in My Hero is known for being the lowest point of the series, but I think that's just wrong. When I first watched this arc, I really liked it, and I'm happy to say I still enjoy it. For one, seeing the other class, Class 1B, is very cool. The standouts from this class is Mudman. His quirk is super cool, and I liked his fight with Ida. Next is Tetsu. And lastly, Monoma. I fuck with Monoma heavily. The power of copy is already cool, but on top of that, his outfit is fire. This guy will beat your ass by stealing your own power while wearing an outfit like he's part of the Payday gang. Or maybe like the Phantom Thieves. Monoma is also super extra and loud and full of himself, and I have a fondness for those type of characters. So yeah, Monoma is awesome. The characters from Class 1A also get time to shine, mainly Bakugo and Shinzo, kind of. Oh yeah, and Deku. Bakugo matures finally and starts to work with his teammates. I'm so happy for him. Shinzo gets to make his grand return after getting bitched in the sports festival, basically becoming Eraserhead number 2. And lastly, Deku. Deku this arc gets his new powers from the other One For All users. The first new power he unlocks is Black Whip, which I must say is very awesome and very cool. I'm a big fan. The only issue with this arc, in my opinion, is when it's showing lame, boring characters we don't care about. I don't want to see the Mushroom Girl, or the Shadow Guy, or Mr. Beast from X-Men. Leave me alone. Other than that, being a long arc and having some mid-tier fights, I'm sorry to say, but the Joint Training arc is still a fun watch.
At number 14, we got the Pro Hero arc. setting the stage for higher stakes entering the story. We shift perspectives from the students to the top two heroes, seeing the state of pro heroes along with even more world building. The story is definitely shifting. It's short, but with one of the best and most important fights in the show, Endeavor and Hawks versus Hood. We're introduced to Hawks, the number 2 hero, and we're shown Endeavor's rise to number 1. This is the start of his redemption and his atonement to the people he's affected. He will guide Hero Society into a bright future as the number 1 hero. At place 13, we have the entrance exam arc. The reason this is high is because this includes the entirety of the first few episodes, including the introduction. The actual exam is nothing too special, other than Deku's self-sacrificing nature finally coming into play with the first demonstration and use of One for All, and the introduction to such massive pillars of characters like Ochako and Ida, but the intro of the story is nothing short of iconic. Getting introduced to this world and the main characters, the tragedy of Izuku Midoriya, the foil of Katsuki Bakugo, the themes and messages the story is conveying is demonstrated all in these first few episodes, what it really means to be a hero.
The UA School Festival gets dunked on a lot for being boring. I just disagree. It's a good arc to unwind after all that shit that happened before, mainly the Shiei Saikai arc. We get to see a lot of Jiro, who is a underrated character. We also get to see Gentle Criminal, who I like. Hell, I love him. His design is peak. His powers are peak. His backstory is peak. Hard to argue with the fact I'm just more of a gentleman than you, and you're fucking mad about it. Gentle's story and Deku's story almost mirror each other. They are both people who wanted to be heroes, but told they couldn't be. The difference is that while society shunned Gentle, society, well, mainly All Might, helped Deku and made him grow. And that's what I like so much about their fight.
At number 11, we have the USJ arc. If MHA was an essay, the USJ arc is, however, at the end of the intro paragraph. Throughout the first season, we feel safe and comfortable in the new school life, but this almost random attack from villains shift the tone. The students are stranded and forced to show what they're capable of, stripped from normalcy. Every student gets a moment to shine. We're almost forced to be reminded and think of what power everyone has to escape the situation. It's scary, especially when you remember that they're just young kids.
He's just a kid, bro.
Class 1A shines through this terrible situation as All Might prevails in an overpowered all-out brawl. One of the best fights in the story. A great, intense arc to finish out the first season.
The Force training arc is pretty good. We get to see some awesome stuff here. 1, we get introduced to Toga, Dabi, and Twice, but 2, we also get to see some awesome fights, like Deku versus Muscular. I like Muscular because he kind of looks like Reiner from Attack on Titan, the final season, Chapter 2, Part 7, Episode 4, Special 3, part of the last saga of AOT. This is also the same arc where Bakugo gets kidnapped. How sad. This arc is good, that's all I can really say.
At number 9, we have the arc that goes by a few different names. The Meta Liberation Army, or My Villain Academia, which serves as the villains growing to become more powerful. A beautiful arc that adds diversity to the story, and sets the villains up for their future potential. All 6 members of the League of Villains get context to their character and big moments to shine, while overcoming the overmassive Meta Liberation arc. All 6 numbers get such great characterization and development, especially Twice, and mainly Shigaraki. It makes this arc so memorable and stand out, even if the anime could have handled it a bit better. Shigaraki's backstory was a mystery leading up to this arc, and completely changed the context of the story. It is monumental for the future events to come. Overall, a great and important arc.
The Star and Stripe arc is one of my favorites in the entire show. It's an arc that completely revolves around the character known as Star and Stripe, where Star and Stripe has an epic face-off against Shigaraki. This fight, in all sense of the word, is amazing. It's animated very well, it's voice acted very well. Star dies? What? Yes, the number 1 hero in the United States dies in her first fight of the show. And I think that's amazing. It's a bold choice to make. Now, highlight Shigaraki's power while also making the arc have meaning. Star's quirk is also really cool. New Order makes her change the role of an object whenever she touches it and says its name. People say she died in the ass-pulley type way, which, would Star and Stripes be able to enact her power on someone who has DID? Because they might not know who they are at the time. That's what happened with Shigaraki, so yeah, that's my example. It's a weird one. Just love this arc, though. It's amazing.
At 7th place, we have the Hideout raid arc. Following the events of the Forest Training arc, things are tense and bleak. The whereabouts of Bakugo are unknown. It's scary. However, we get a bit of that classic school fun feel in parts of it, along with some drama. The students get to act like kids, going out to save Bakugo. Things go wrong, and we're introduced to the big bad of the story, All For One. We witness the end of All Might's career in one big final stand against his arch nemesis. It's like top 3 fights in the story. All Might versus All For One is a hype and meaningful battle, marking the turning point in the story. After this event, the world of MHA was never the same. At number 6, we have the UA Sports Festival, taking a generic shonen trope of a battle-filled festival and just making it work. Everyone here is trying their best. Everyone is at their most competitive. At first it's fun. With all the different games, the rules are simple, and we see our main character shine as the underdog, impressing everyone, winning the first game without using his quirk once. Yet again, we see how diversely everyone can use their powers, even introducing more characters with more diverse powers. Each character gets a moment to shine, while still introducing others, such as the other classes. But things get real when the fighting tournament starts. It's a simple arena fight with so many interesting matchups. Some quick yet effective, some longer and meaningful. Uraraka fighting against all odds against Bakugo, with the star of the show, Shoto Todoroki, with his backstory being revealed, with his character development starting. Deku just wants to help him heal, resulting in the best fight in the story. Overall, one of Horikoshi's best, with some of the best moments in a nostalgic setting. Amazing character moments, and overwhelming intense obstacles, with some of the best animation. Truly iconic in the MHA scape.
The Paranormal Liberation War arc is one of my favorite arcs in the show for many reasons, so I kind of just want to list them in order, or at least the major ones, because if I didn't, I would be here all day. Number 1. It's really epic seeing all the heroes, whether background or mainstay characters, all fighting together. It's really a culmination of the show's world building. Number 2. Also, side characters get time to shine, like Kaminari, Tokuyami, same with Momo and Kirishima when taking down Gigantomachia. Number 3. Deku and Bakugo's fight with Shigaraki is really awesome, having Bakugo get injured and Deku having real hate in his heart for the first time in the entire show. Number 4. Ochako's 1v1 with Toga was sick, and gets explored a lot more in Season 7, setting up that whole arc. Number 5, Dabi's dance is one of my favorite moments in My Hero Academia. Dabi this season really goes all out, in both sub and dub, voice actors giving a performance at 100%. Dabi's reveal to be Endeavor's lost son is executed perfectly, by the character and the show itself. Character-wise, it makes complete sense for him to be the son of Endeavor. It doesn't seem like an ass pull, but also him broadcasting it all over Japan, making it a spectacle, is a very petty and Dabi thing to do. Him doing that reminds me a lot of when Mysterio revealed Peter's identity to the entire world at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. Overall, top tier arc for a top tier season of My Hero. Hi guys, editing Robo here. I don't know how I forgot to mention this in the script, but when Twice died, maybe the 5th episode into the season, I literally fell to my knees in my room. Like, I was watching it, and I felt it coming. I just knew it in my bones, like, Hawks was gonna slime him. And, yeah. It hurts, man. The Hero Killer arc is iconic to the show, and for good reason. It says what it's trying to say very well. Some heroes are the bad, and only become heroes for fame, money, and bitches. But according to Stain, the only hero that didn't do that is All Might. Stain is like a All Might fanboy if he was evil and fucked up. Stain's design is very reminiscent of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is cool because Stain is kind of a vigilante like them. Wait, do you guys hear something? Did you know, in My Hero's spin-off show called My Hero Academia Vigilantes, Stain got his iconic punched in hollow nose from a fight with Knuckle Duster? Bruh. Is Knuckle Duster the best new vigilante? Oh yeah, the fight with Stain is very good too. And of course, Stain's monologue at the end, performed by the very talented Robert McCollum, is one of my favorite voice acting moments in anime. Fun fact, I actually met Robert at an anime convention I went to around 2 months ago. He was very nice and he signed my copy of Borderlands 2 since he voices Axton, one of the Vault Hunters in it. The Overhaul arc, formerly known as the Shihei Hasaikai arc, is my favorite arc. but not number 1 on this list. This arc revolves around Overhaul, one of my favorite characters in the show. His design is badass. His voice is kind of raspy. And his motive is very interesting and cool. Oh, on top of that, his quirk is awesome. His quirk is to disassemble and reassemble any piece of matter. Then his design is very Plague Doctor-like, due to him being a clean freak and not being a fan of breathing the same air as someone below him. Also, did I mention he's part of the Yakuza clan? I'm pretty sure he's their boss. I can't remember, it's been a moment. His voice actor in dub, because that's what I watched the show in, is Kellen Goff, known for voicing Diavolo from JoJo, and holy shit, did I just mention JoJo in a RoboMan video? How many years has it been? Like a year and a half? Oh my god. Release me! Release me! Hey, he also voices Freddy Fazbear, how cool. Overall's motivation is to create these darts that take away people's quirks, reverting their selves basically back to when they didn't have a quirk. He's doing that using this child he kidnapped named Eri. So Deku and a bunch of these heroes are sent to the Yakuza hideout to stop him. And so Deku and Lemillion have this crazy fight, leaving Lemillion without a quirk due to him getting hit by the dart, and Deku going 100% due to Eri's power to defeat Overhaul. Holy shit, this arc is so good, it makes me feel something every time I watch it.
At second place, we have the one, the only, Final War arc. I think we could have named that better. After over 300 chapters of arcs, this is all where it leads to. We get the finales and resolutions to so many character arcs and messages of the story. The entanglement of Uraraka and her empathy towards Toga, Todoroki, his family and the tragedy of Dabi, Bakugo and his pride, All for One and his origin, All Might and his mentality, Deku and Shigaraki's opposing forces of good and damaged. And of course, every other character gets a moment, even past villains and one-offs. It is a beautiful conclusion to the entire story, with so many gargantuan hype moments, with a beautiful cinematic set piece, with brilliant battle. And I won't get into manga spoilers, but if you know, you know. There's so much happening, there's so many stories with such good quality, it'd be a crime to not put it as high as it could go. And finally, at the number 1 spot, the Dark Hero arc. Here I go, talking about this arc again. The Dark Hero arc is a story arc that is totally different to anything else seen in the story of MHA. The atmosphere is dark and apocalyptic, which is such a tone shift for this series. Colors are washed out. It feels so isolating to see Deku's worst parts of his self-sacrificing, stubborn nature be brought out. Deku wears a mask while sporting a calm and serious demeanor after the war. It evokes classic noirish comic book storylines such as Batman and Spider-Man. He's swinging around an empty, destroyed city while brooding, thinking of ways to stop All for One. Deku, a character that was a kind, dorky, and timid young man, has turned dark and broken with a scary appearance. But by the end, his classmates find him. They combine their power just to catch up with him, giving him an intervention, to tell him to share this burden with. It's apparent this entire arc is about mental health, and the negative ways it can affect a person. Deku does not have to do this alone, and with an apology from his bully, saying he's sorry for all the cruelty he's inflicted onto him, every student gets a moment to speak to Deku, to talk to him, to try to make him stop. With atmosphere, beautiful fights, the tone of this arc, and the conclusion, this arc stands as the best arc in My Hero Academia, and that's not just because of its dark, brooding aura, but because of its messages and character development and change that Deku goes through along with his class, and of course, the world of MHA. Thank you so much for having me, Robo. To anyone watching this, please check out my channel and my short films.
So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you guys liked it, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you to the awesome Snowman for showing up in this video with me. It was a pleasure working with you. You were very cool and epic to work with. I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been RoboMan, and I'm signing out.